go. Hope to welcome everyone to the Adult Education Basics webinar this afternoon. This is a presentation of the New York State and CSEA Partnership for Education and Training. I'm Trotta, and I'll be your host for the webinar. In addition, I have Melanie Grossman, who will be monitoring the chat today.
Hi, folks.
Will be Gary Bartolina-Campbell.
Hello, everybody.
At this point, I'm going to mute everyone's phone to keep background noise to a minimum. If you have questions at any time during the webinar, you can click on the Raise Hand button that's located at the bottom of the participants panel to raise your hand, and we can talk to you over the phone or your computer microphone. Whatever I'm raising their hand right now, please make sure that works. Excellent. That again, it'll put your hand back down. Time during the webinar today, if you have a question or a comment, you can tell us in the chat panel, which is the bottom-hand side of the screen. Please, all participants is selected in the Send To drop-down. That isn't because there are other options that begin, but we need all participants. That way you can see it that's on the webinar. Type your comment or question there and click Send, and we will address it that way. The housekeeping out of the way, I guess I can turn it over to Gary, and we can learn more about AAB.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you. It's just to get a chance to speak with you today about adult education basics. Thank you. Start by telling you what we mean when we say adult education basics, or AAB. Over the years, we have encountered confusion regarding the definition of AAB. The Education Department considers reading, writing, or math at a 9th grade level or below as AAB, when in reality, the average American reads at a 6th grade level and does math at an 8th grade level. So when we talk about AAB needs, we're to employees at a 9th grade education skill level or below. In terms of what we hope to achieve today, we have 5 main goals. We share information about the needs for adult education basics training. We will by sharing some statistics and survey results. Next, we'll talk about ways the partnership has worked to provide AAB instructions to CSE represented employees. And we also share information about the positive program outcomes that we have had. And we will talk about what's in it for you as a supervisor or CSEA leader. And finally, this is your call to action. What can you do to help promote enrollment? I'll start by asking you a question. What percentage of adults in the U.S. have basic or below basic reading and writing skills? Again, remember, below 6th grade level, and math below 8th grade level.
Note that I've opened the polling panel on the right-hand side of the screen. To click on the option A, B, C, or D that you feel is the best answer here.
Once you put that into red,
and when one has answered, we can display the results for all to see. Okay, see what we have here.
Everybody press C.
Yeah, in seconds we'll have the results. Sometimes it takes a little time to that chart for us. There we go.
the vast majority of people said 33%, but we do have minorities saying 43%.
43%, you might be surprised to know, it's the answer. U.S. adults have basic or below basic reading and writing skills. It's 43% of the population. If you were surprised by the answer to the previous question, you'll also be surprised by these other national statistics as well. The total of adults in the U.S. is about 245 million. 20% of those adults lack a high school diploma. 15% are at third grade level or below for reading, writing, and math. And for adults with a high school diploma, 20% have beginning literacy skills. Some other alarming statistics. 20% of Americans are at or below the basic reading level. 55% are at or below the basic math level. Below 8th grade level.
Right.
Below 8th grade level in math. I like you take a moment to read this email message. If your employees can understand and act on this message, please raise your hand.
Again, button is at the bottom of the participants panel, the green check mark. If your employees understand and can act on this email, please raise your hand.
So if they can, could you give us a quick blurb in the chat box as to why you think they cannot? Jo does think that her staff could read this and understand it. But we do have a few people who are saying that their staff probably could not. If you could just let us know quickly in the chat box why you think it's too difficult to read, that would be great.
This text, it doesn't look that complicated, does it? But it's at a 7th grade level. That's above what we consider to be basic reading level, just in grade level, so 7th. For you and your staff, assume your own employee skills are in line with national statistics. 20% of your staff may have trouble understanding this email, and because of that, have mistakes or take longer to get their job done. You have 20 people that you supervise. 4 of them could have trouble reading this email. Now let's discuss New York State data. According to the National Center for Higher Education Management System, 20% of New York State adults ages 18 to 64 adult education and training needs. That's almost 1 in every 4 people. New York State, 1.6 million adults lack a high school diploma, and approximately 775,000 adults lack a college education and little or no English. Over 2 million adults lacking college education earn less than a living wage. These statistics are consistent with the previous slide. Over 22% of New Yorkers lack basic literacy skills. In the metropolitan area, the average of the 5 boroughs is 33%. That's 1 in 3 people. According to the Department of Civil Service, the New York State employee population in the metropolitan region is over 20,000. Even an average of 33% of the metropolitan population lacks basic education skills. We estimate that about 6,700 state employees have AAB needs. District area, the average need for AAB skills for 3 counties is 9%. We're not including Saratoga County in this, which we should because we do get students from Clifton Park and in that area. But in case 9%, we still, according to the Department of Civil Service, the state employee population in the capital region is over 40,000. If you consider that an average of 9% of the capital district population lacks basic education skills, we can estimate that about 3,600 state employees have AAB needs. So big number still. I'm throwing out a statistics at you, and some of them are probably shocking to you. Some may not be. So let's take a moment to see if you have any questions about the statistics for AAB in both the capital region and New York City.
Again, please raise your hand or type them in the chat box.
If you have them now, that's great. Throw them right in the chat box and click send, or throughout the webinar. If you have questions, comments, want us to know, feel free to drop that in the chat box and send it to us, and I'll be answering them in real time. Any answers coming or questions coming in, but that's okay. We may as time goes on.
About the statistics, sure. I'll think for a moment about the job titles you see on the screen. In which of these job areas do you feel that you might find people with AAB needs?
Notice I've opened the polling panel. Take your mouse, click on as many of the options, A through G, that you feel are correct. So you have one or more than one option here. As always, remember to click the Submit button. It's way down at the bottom right there. Your selections.
If you note at the bottom of your screen on the right-hand side that says your poll has been submitted.
Okay, Gary, which of these have AAB needs?
Responses. So a grouping of people thought secretary, park assistant, and tax compliance. It would have the most, but they're actually every single answer. Some folks that think that position would need it.
Right, and we have had students in our AAB classes from all these job titles, plus many more other job titles. So there's people with AAB needs come over, and their needs may not be obvious. In 2017, we sent a survey to over 3,000 supervisors of CSCA represented employees in New York City and the Capital District had taken our courses. So many of you probably participated in that survey. So we thank you for that. But for the survey is that we wanted to get specific feedback from New York State supervisors to compare to the estimates we just discussed that are statewide or national. In the metropolitan area, supervisors identify the number of employees that could benefit from AAB courses by topic area. I'll give you a moment to review this slide, but this is what the many people they said they could use these courses. And our conservative estimate, remember that in the previous estimate, 6,700 employees in the metropolitan region could potentially have AAB needs. So these numbers are pretty good from the supervisors. Capital region, supervisors identify the number of employees that could benefit from AAB courses by topic area. Again, I'll give you a few moments to review that. And remember the previous estimate that is over 3,600 employees could use these courses. So is that the data seems to support that thousands of state employees in metropolitan and capital region could benefit from AAB instructions. Any questions?
If you do questions, raise your hand or type them in chat. Both of those. Nope.
Doing a pretty bang-up job. That's great.
So we have provided estimates regarding the AAB needs for thousands of New York State employees. AAB training we conducted during the past contract period, which was from 2011 to 2016. And in that time, we ran a total of 58 classes serving 514 employees. We looked at the number of AAB tuition benefits we offered. And we say AAB tuition benefits, we mean like those remedial courses that the college calls remedial, which is non-credit, before they even get into credit courses. We offer them a total of 583 benefits, 181 tuition benefits to support the AAB needs. So those who are accessing our programs are definitely getting a good benefit, but we're only scratching the surface. As the numbers we gave you, compare it to the people we serve, we're really not there yet. With help, we could do much more. I wanted to think about the need for AAB and the low numbers of employees we have been able to reach. Think about that. At this point, I'd like to ask you a question about your own staff or members. In which of these areas do you feel they may need AAB classes?
We'll open on the right, click your mouse and click on, again, as many options as apply, AAB. You think your CSEA members may need help with. And click submit.
It looks like they've forgotten to press that submit. Make sure if you don't get that, your poll being counted message on the bottom right-hand side of your screen, you need to press that submit button so that your vote is counted. To click the answer, you must also click that submit button. I'm seeing that you are doing options, writing and math. Extremely honest and honestly very well respected answer. It's hard to know if you're a new supervisor, so that's a great answer. Yes. But you're here today looking at it.
Okay, for responses. Above, and 2 for writing, 1 for math.
Thank you for your answers. Appreciate hearing those responses. I'm happy to say that we can help your staff with these needs. Pre and post testing, an average of 82% of the employees who take our AAB courses increase at least one full grade level in a 14-week period. And when we say 14 weeks, it's one day a week for 14 weeks. Some students have increased as much as 4 or 5 grade levels in just one semester of AAB classes. These are the students that have been out of school for a long time, but they went to a strong high school where they had a strong education. They just need a refresher before they go back to secondary school and college. Normally it takes one academic year. We can accomplish in 14 days, and for us, it's amazing. For the students, it's amazing. It really works. This email, with an average of 82% of employees increasing at least one grade level, our AP classes can make a big difference in your employees' performance. For if an employee started at 6th grade level and took our class after 14 days, they will be able to understand and act on this email. So amazing. Before we move on, does anyone have any questions?
I'm not seeing questions coming through.
So in red here are high grade?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Is they're being used. It's not the word itself,
Uh-huh.
but you know, it's urgent could be left to interpretation. How urgent is it? Is it urgent for me or is it urgent for my supervisor?
Right.
You know, so it's being able to analyze and act on it.
Okay.
Okay. Now that we have a good sense of what your needs are and are very excited to let you know that we are currently accepting applications for the fall 2019 AAB Regional Program in the metropolitan and capital areas. And some of you said writing and the math was important. We're offering Enhance Your Skill, which is a reading, writing, and math.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And we also are offering the math by itself. But as mentioned before, that in the 14 days, most employees advance at least one grade level. One of the toughest challenges is being able to provide release time for employees, and we know that, to participate in this 14-day course. So our partnership, we did listen to you. The last semester, that was one of the most comments that we got from supervisors. So this upcoming fall, we decided to deliver a 6-week pilot math refresher course in both the metropolitan and the capital region. And we plan to test employees at the beginning and at the end of the 6 weeks to see how much they have advanced in grade levels. We're calling it a pilot because we know yet if we're going to get good results, but we have to expand this approach. If we do get results, we will expand the approach and use it also for writing and for reading, and maybe for ESOL and other courses. Expand it that way where we would have a 6 weeks, and a 6 weeks level 2, and perhaps level 3.
Uh-huh. Okay. Just 6 days of release.
A release at a time.
That's great.
Right. So we're trying that. So, metropolitan region, we are now accepting applications for our standard Enhance Your Skills, reading, writing, and math. And again, the 6 days, and we're going to have the 6-day math refresher course starting in October. Emphasize that in the metropolitan New York City region, we can accept employees from other bargaining units and family and friends as long as they're over 21. And my only rule in this case is that we don't accept husband and wife in the same classroom. That has not resulted well for us, okay? So we do accept friends and family, PEF, 1199, MCs, anybody in the New York City area, because we get a grant for this program. It's not the negotiated funds. It's a grant that we receive from the Consortium of Workers Education. Not only do they give us money, but they give us a real nice training room, and the location is accessible to all. As you can see by the listed subway station on Fulton Street, all the trains pretty much stop there, and buses also stop lane, very close. Now, in the Capital District, it's a different story because this is a negotiated fund. These are CSCA represented employees. And we have offering the same 2 courses, the Enhance Your Skill and the Math Refresher. Now, I can see Enhance Your Skill is going to be held on Thursday. So now we are already a little bit over our numbers, but we're still accepting application and might have to double that class. So we're going to have a Thursday and a Friday class, particular class. But the math refresher, we're still accepting applications. Okay, and the due date of both of those applications is August 15th in both regions.
So next Friday.
Friday. If you meet that deadline, just give me a call, and I'm going to give you my number at the end of this webinar. So as mentioned, we're offering AB courses in the metropolitan and capital regions, including our 6-week pilot math refresher. But typical AB course runs for a period of 14 weeks, 1 per week. We conduct a skill assessment called TABE, which is the reading, writing, and math. These are to measure participants' grade levels at the beginning and at the end of the program. And all the courses on this, but please note, all the courses on this list can be brought to you with a worksite application. It's a 2-page with your management request, but we do require at least a minimum of 15 participants to run these classes at your worksite. So we will bring it to your training room and to your employees if that's something that you would like and that you're able to handle. As of that, if an area of your facility has educational needs, but you're able to meet the minimum enrollment, you refer them to the partnership, our advisors who will help them use the tuition benefit program, or you contact the partnership and we can try to get in touch with agencies that have employees with the same needs to help you fill a class. For example, right now I'm in a discussion with Bronx Psychiatric Center in Bronx OMRDD, and they might come up with, they want a writing class, so we might be able to do a writing and invite both of those facilities employees to join the class. I mentioned we test our employees before placing them in an AAB class and at the end. Assessments are confidential. It helps to understand why the partnership conducts assessments, and our polling question relates to why the partnership assesses employee skills.
A polling panel is open on the right-hand side of your screen. Please option A, B, C, or D that you feel is the best answer. Submit. Answer. Employee skills. Confident, of course.
Remember that your poll has been submitted. It hasn't been counted, so make sure you click on that submit button.
Okay, here. All of main responses.
So,
and one for A and B.
Yeah, major majority.
And that is the answer.
Hey.
The correct answer. You get the prize. It is all of the above. We do all that for them. Now, our AV courses, they focus on language, math, reading, writing, and high school equivalency preparation. Our AV courses target low to intermediate to high adult secondary education learners. That is to say, first grade through 11th grade level. And below that, we refer them to a literacy center. And above that, we refer them to our advisors for tuition benefits, okay, to let you know. But experience has taught us that having participants with multi-level skills in the same classroom produce better outcomes. So all these people from different grade levels are in the same classroom. Some will need another class after that or not, but we do mix them together, and we have found that that's really helpful. They form a community and they help each other. What they usually say is we have each other's back, and they do. They really do. We find that AB courses help employees meet their job requirements, improve work performance, and provide helpful life skills. In addition, we have found that they have developed higher self-esteem and motivation by being together as a group. So I'd like to stop for a moment and ask you another question. I know I'm bombarding you with these questions, but have you ever had a positive training or learning experience in your life? An experience where what you learned was a real benefit to you? If you have, I'd like you to click on the yes button. If you haven't, please click or no.
So yes, you would select the green check mark, and no, the red X. Positive learning experience. Yeah, multiple green checks, Gary.
Great.
And if you want to share with us what made that a positive experience, you can type that in the chat panel. I'd like to know. Memorable for you.
Folks.
Simple and as shallow as me. I was terrible in math, and then I got this handsome math teacher, and I wanted to show him how smart I was, so I did well in math class. So be as shallow as that. But sometimes that's something that triggered you to do better.
Sometimes it can come from many places.
From any place.
Apparently. All right, well, we'll monitor what they have to say. Had that positive experience.
Mm-hmm. Very nice. Okay. So we are to share some of the positive outcomes of our AAB program. We supervisors of employees who participated in our program at the end of every year. And here's what we found. 60% see an improvement in their employees' work performance. 6% see an improvement in their employees' self-confidence. And 70% see an improvement in employees' morale.
Gary, we have some comments that came through just now about positive learning experiences. Marie says that some teachers just make it easy to learn and fun. R. Wild said the instructor was engaging and the subject was interesting. Paula also noted that in high school, when the teacher took the time out to explain a math problem, she felt good about that.
And it's just sometimes that one teacher can make a big difference.
Absolutely.
Right? Well, it's difficult to measure, self-confidence is huge as part of the outcome in our program. CSEA leaders have reported to us that immediately after even the first or second class, they see the difference in their members and how they feel, how they want to move forward and take other classes. So it's a big deal. CSC local president Delphine Moultrie shares that the AAB courses have helped her grow as an employee and as a union activist, and she was a participant of the program. So Supervisor Wilfredo Hernandez shared that the AAB is a great benefit to CSCA members because it enhances their skills, and taking the courses have shown an improvement in their daily tasks, confidence, and performance. Mentioned to me, apparently he attested that the outcomes we found when we spoke to AAB students and their supervisors of those students was that after the classes, they gained self-confidence. So he emphasized that it was true, that the confidence building was huge. And it may not be immediately apparent why that is important. However, there is some powerful research about the value of self-confidence in the workplace. As far back as 1986, research found that self-confidence is one of the most influential motivators in people's everyday lives. They also found that when people feel confident, they're more likely to get higher work goals for themselves, and that their commitments to achieving those goals are stronger. Can help with a person's teamwork skills too, by the way. Team confidence, researchers have found, is rooted in personal self-confidence. Team confidence is a phrase that is used to describe the goals the team set, the amount for people put into their teams, and their ability to stick to the course if the team fails to produce the results they want. So as from the academic skills that your employees gain when they take AAB classes, they will come back to your workplace more energized, engaged, and with personal goals for success at work. A little bit about what our AAB students see from the Department of Taxation and Finance. It's a good example of how self-confidence is linked to job performance. After completing the AAB program, Stephen reported improved self-confidence and communication. He's better at speaking, writing, and understanding English, which improves his ability to handle calls. Now he solves them more quickly and with better results. In addition, Steve continues to take courses outside of the working hours and they're related to his current position. He's going to college for accounting. This is where you want your employees to be, in need of constant growth so that they can better meet your agency needs. What can to help? None about the programs that we offer. We are depending on you to become an AAB champion. As a fact, I always joke around here that anybody that shows up to my meetings, they are champions. So they become champions. So an AAB champion is anyone who helps to spread the word about AAB. Speaking points we provided, we send you that as an attachment. Please encourage eligible employees to attend the classes. We provided you with our AAB booklet as an attachment. The information to help market the program. Champion, or communicate with the partnership to let us know what else we can do to develop your workforce. As from our AAB program, the partner offers other services such as tuition benefits, skills we have on staff, and on-site requests, a simple work-site request that I mentioned before. It's a 2-pager, and courses that you need, we can bring to you. If there's anything else we can do to help, do not hesitate to let us know. But we are for you. Okay, so just know. And remember that productivity does not usually decrease when employees release for AAB classes. I know it's a long period of time, release time, but often employees do additional work to make the difference in absence. One, highly motivated, educated, and engaged employees. AAB is the program for you. I'm telling you. An AAB champion, also be aware that employees may be concerned about the pre and the post testing. That's a huge fear. As you know, it's one of the fears. Usually 3 major reasons why students are concerned. Fear of failing the test, this is not a pass or fail test. Concern who will see their scores. Emphasize, please, that these are not used with their supervisors at all. Only them and the teacher will see it. And anxiety about how their scores will be used. So the scores will be used just to make sure we want to know how much they know. And to help them with the things that they don't know, okay? So we raise employees' fears by letting them know that the individual assessment records are always kept confidential. I always use as an example is one student once mentioned how much I did not know until I took this class. It's just something where that we learn something new every day in this class, even the teachers and the program managers. So it's life-changing. Okay. Current assessment, but they will give them a prescription of what they need to work on. But right now, these are remember that the coming fall, these are the courses that we're offering. Same, enhance your skills in Metropolitan Region 2, enhance your skill in Region 4, Capital District. Refresher, the 6-week pilot in both places.
Can you remind everybody what classes they're able to take and who else is able to take them in each area, please?
Okay, in the Region 2, that's the one that we get a grant. So in this case, we allow anybody from any bargaining units, any other unions, such as PEP, CSCA, MCs, family and friends. That's New York City. So we should have 40 people per class, not 11 like we've been getting, okay? Now, Region 4 is different. In Region 4, this is out of the negotiated funds, so it's really for CSCA members. At times we might allow, if we have seats, we definitely have courtesy seats sometimes for PEP members. The need it. for and MCs, but those are courtesy seats. We have first filled out the seats with CSEA members. Okay, so talked about the definition of adult education basic. We have given you the statistics about the needs of the New York State employees. We've shown you ways that the partnership can help support the need and the outcome of the program. We are also asking for your help in promoting the upcoming Math Refresher and the Enhance Your Skills basic program in the metropolitan and capital regions. It's time to personalize it to you. This is your call to action. It's your role as a supervisor or CSEA leader. What can you do to help employees or members enroll in the upcoming AAB Regional Program?
On to us via the chat box to this question. Please, bottom right side of the screen, and click send when you're done typing. What can help employees enroll in these upcoming programs? What does it mean to be a champion?
Somebody who helps us promote the program and who uses sensitivity. And I want to use the word love, but love for their employees to see them grow as individuals and as employees by taking courses. So I call people with passion for education and training.
Sure. An improvement, right?
Definitely.
Well, you've laid out the need for these courses.
Mm-hmm.
You've laid out the importance for the courses and discussing how to get the people into the courses.
Right.
Okay.
And we gave you the what I call the brochure, but some people call it the booklet. So the booklet basic ed explains why the program was the foundation of it. It gives some statistics on that. But also we gave you the flyers for each location and to help you with that. But the speaking points are important, and those were requested from us like semesters ago. People like, can you give us some talking points? So when we're telling people, we're not just saying, listen, take this writing class, you need it. We need a little bit of diplomacy when it comes to this and asking people to join this type of course.
So with information, Marie is going to post the information and make sure her employees know what is available.
Mm-hmm.
And our Wild is going to encourage staff to improve and learn and make them aware of the courses. I think our big challenge as an agency, as the partnership on a whole, is that we're like the kept secret. These courses are amazing. Opportunity to take them is amazing, and we just want to make sure everybody knows about them.
Right.
Send emails to the employees and encourage attendance and post on their availability. That's great. Paul, want to make sure that employees are aware of the courses. That's huge. Awareness is huge. And hopefully you've all received a copy of our Fall 2019 catalog. And within that, we have the Adult Education Basics program, as well as our Job Skills program, our Safety and Health, and our trades.
Yeah, the title Skills for Success.
Yep.
That's her catalog, and those, also have regional flyers. So if you want, send a quick email when we're done here. I can send you the regional flyer for New York City or for Albany. Now, one of the things that we forgot to mention is how we protect you as a supervisor. Once you release the student that they send into a class let's say, for example, every Wednesday, you know that they got there on Wednesday. And we keep attendance, and next day we send you an email if that person was out or late. So make sure that they're accountable to you because they are on work time. Went to our classes if they were reporting to work. So be sure to protect you as a supervisor or as a CSEA leader for possible grievance in the future. They do keep attendance and make sure that they sign in every day. And they do report lateness also.
For your comments, please remember if you're in the Metro New York City area and you're employees of these programs, remember that friends and family aspect of it as well.
Yes. And now that you know the needs of our workforce, what do you think will move forward what would stop you? What would be a barrier for you or some applications? Anything we can help you with? Or become an issue for you?
Just you're anticipating when having employees go to these courses?
Please get in the chat with us.
Answers for that. Are offered. Evie, can you tell us more about that? Supervisor may need a supervisor approval. We get that.
Yes, and they sometimes you need the HR training director to approve it.
So even that most employees have to work during business hours, we agree with you. So these courses are meant to be taken during the business hours. To be an alternate work site for the day for the employee. They're meant to be in their off time, although they can take it on a day or a vacation day if they choose to. These are scheduled actually on purpose during shift time.
People want to get release time, training release time to attend these courses.
Correct.
And that's your approval signature. When you sign off on that, you sign them getting paid for 14 days for going to class. And
Maybe? Okay, good. So that's a very good sign.
yes, that's it. Every one of you are going to send me at least 2 applications, right?
All right, so Sandy's thinking there may be a slight issue with coverage for office duties. There's a full unit there, so they may not be able to have people attend. We certainly understand that. It's very difficult when you're down employees and you're granting release time. We will tell you this, and folks, we just want to remind everyone that employees that are given release time to do training, we often hear, very often, that they are more productive, more engaged, and more friendly in the 4 days out of the 5 that they're normally at work, involved in one of these classes and after these classes. So if there is time and some quotas or certain things that folks need to or meet during the week, don't be worried about giving them release time for one of those 5 days, because they will get their work done in the other 4.
And even though it's phone, and even with their friends and coworkers, they will see the difference. The people are in office, much more work they would do.
And they better about themselves.
Yes.
So Marie wants to know if there were dates and classes at another time of the year. Gary, how often do you offer these classes?
Every pretty much, we call it semester, but in the spring again, starting in March, we would offer the classes again from March to June.
So in blocks of time, one in the fall and one in the spring. But you can do a worksite request any time of the year.
Right, anytime. Marie, if you want something brought to you, you pick the dates and the times. Advantages. Okay. Well, thank you for joining us today and for your participation. We have a few minutes before we close to answer any questions, other questions, but I don't know if you have any. But additional thoughts or anything like that, if you want, we can do that. The phone listed on this is actually my direct number and my email, so please feel free to contact me individually if you have any other concerns, questions, or any extra materials you may need. Okay. So let me know.
Great, thank you for this informational webinar on adult education basics. To our if you have any questions or feedback about this webinar at any time after we're done, contact us directly, as Gary said, or via the website. If you want to know more about the AAB program, you can certainly visit the website for that as well. Please think for adult education basics once you're there. I have about 10 minutes till 3 o'clock. If we have questions or comments, we'd love to field them now for you. And
Yeah, we're hoping you have learned the value of granting release time for this benefit. AAB is the base. I always call it, it's the foundation. We can't build a house without a foundation. It's happening. Like, we have issues at different agencies. We about what's going on. And really, with an adult basic education program, if we give them the people the basics, they can fly from there. I'm telling you. That's really happening.
there's a great, like you said, group dynamic in the classroom that we see transfers to the work site in that team concept we talked about.
Yes, very much. And also, we see they friendships, and now they have a network. People are working on other agencies, and they hear it. Everybody's having the same issues. They're not alone. You know, they're short-handed. Everybody's retired and hurt. All of us, a lot of us.
Right.
You know, it left a small stuff, and they hear that other people are having the same issues. That they're not alone.
She will encourage staff members to participate.
Thank you, Anna. Okay.
All right. If you have any questions, contact Gary directly, and she'll be happy to help. And we thank you for the hour with us today. And see you out in the field.
Yes. Thank you very much, everybody.
Goodbye.